Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I am the Crypto Crow, and we are live. It is about 1 p.m. Eastern. I was going to be going live with Big Pay today, but he was having some technical issues, and I'm on a tight schedule, so I'm not going to be long for super long today. I just kind of wanted to give a recap of what all was going on lately because, I mean, everything's been pretty much pumping. I'm about to lose my ass on a short trade. uh, yeah, it was a short trade. And or no, I'm sorry, it was a long. I went long. I was short, very convinced of it. And then a whole bunch of stuff was going on this afternoon. I lost track of everything I was doing, lost my focus, uh ended up flopping and groping kind of passively, ended up in a long trade that it ultimately went against me. And I think I'm about to get like stopped out with like a 2 grand loss. So that sucks. But I don't know. It depends on what happens. I'm like looking at the chart, and I basically set a stop loss just under the negative 50% Asia mark. And I'll show it to you guys in a little bit. There's so much good stuff going on, and I'm more focused on a lot of that. It's like, I'm still learning with the trading, and I definitely shouldn't allow my focus to get so broken up sometimes because I've been on a roll, man. I've been on a tear. I've been doing 600 to 800 bucks in profit on all these trades, and then I'm about to give it all back. Like basically everything I've done in the past week, I'm about to get. I don't have to. My liquidation mark is like 111,500. I could let it go. I highly doubt we're going to hit that mark before we break like a new all-time high. But I've been waiting for the CME futures gap to fill, and I think we're heading into it now. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I've thought that like twice over the past couple weeks, and we haven't hit yet. But we go ahead and take a quick look at price and just see what's happening for everybody. This is Bitcoin's price currently on a 15-minute, and you can see we got these vector candles on the short side, and very frustrating. Very frustrating for me. We've got the low a day down here at like 117,258, and we're probably going to get to it. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure my stop loss is set somewhere right around this area. And it hasn't triggered yet, but something tells me it might, and it's going to really suck. I don't know why. I just don't want to let it go because it was a big trade. I kind of went all in, not really all in, because I have a trigger set at like 114.8 as a long, assuming like at some point somebody sneaky, probably in the middle of the night, is going to run us down there and fill that CME futures gap. And I want to be in a long position when that happens. And that's, that's all the way down here. So maybe it happens by Wednesday. I'm not sure. Maybe we get a reversal today and start heading into new all-time highs before we go down to that CME futures gap. Or maybe we turn around, we get this big fake out down here where everybody's starting to short because they're thinking we're going to, keep going lower for the CME futures gap. And then we get a reversal. We start setting a new all-time high, and we just keep running with it. And maybe we don't even go back down until later on. Maybe that CME futures gap becomes like a part of the bottom after the peak of the market. So I don't know. We'll see though. Like one way or another, I'm in it. So currently looking at Bitcoin's dominance, it's a little lower. We're down about 8.45% right now. And of course, as this drops, the altcoin markets have been tearing. And I've been seeing some comments. I mean, Benjamin Cowan really is sticking to his guns with his analysis. I feel like sometimes the way Ben posts things, it's kind of hard to understand exactly what he's saying. And if you're glancing through, it just sounds like he's repeating the sentiment that the altcoin market is nigh. Like it's not going to happen. I don't really know if that's it or not. I've misinterpreted things he said in the past. But because I saw his comment, I went and I did this analysis of Bitcoin's dominance, its flow, its peaks and valleys over the course of a market, and how that affected Cardano's price. And really a lot of what's happening right now is still very much par for the course in a cycle. So I'm not quite sure what he and others have been getting at. I might just have to go back through with a fine-tooth comb and see. But I was running the dominance charts last night, and based on like the 2021 cycle, and I posted it. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that up real quick, because I posted it, and it was let me find it where it is because it basically said in a nutshell that Cardano was likely going to peak in February. Here it is. I don't even know if you're going to be able to see this. Okay, so we're going to have to do a lot of scrolling around here. But if we go back to, I think this was the, yeah. So this was showing the difference in peaks. So you had like peak 1, and then you had the second peak, and then Cardano peaked towards the end, or like basically just before the second peak of Bitcoin in the last market cycle. And that was roughly 282 days after Bitcoin's peak dominance. So about 282 days after Bitcoin basically hit its absolute top in dominance for the cycle and then started to wane. And, you know, that's how long it took for Cardano to peak against Bitcoin's price. And like this was Bitcoin, you know, at its first peak, that was in April. And then its second peak was all the way in November. And so if we if you take a look at basically the time frames and all of this, if we were to match that now, we're basically looking at, you know, an October, like if we had 2 peaks, right? I'm assuming this is somehow going to be averaged out and be more in line with like 2017. But just in terms of time frames of 2021, if it were to match, we'd be looking at an October peak for Bitcoin, a lull, another pump leading into Cardano having its peak in February of 2026, and then April 1st. April 1st seems to be a thing. I know Trump avoided it for some of the stuff he was doing. But basically like a potential second peak in the market. And I'm not calling a second peak like I did last cycle. I'm not seeing it. You know, but I'm assuming we're going to get more of a parabolic rise average of some sort. You know, like if we were to have 1 peak and then 2, I think somehow it's going to get consolidated and establish a strong momentum to the upside. So that's basically what I'm expecting to see. But that, I mean, even if we were to match 2021 identically, Bitcoin doesn't peak until October. Cardano likely peaks around February, and then you know, Bitcoin likely has another blow off. Now, what could happen? I mean, it could very easily happen where in October, you know, we peak out momentarily, we get like a 20, 30, even a 40% drop, and then pick up steam, continue on, and then, you know, we just continue to rip into 2020. Further into 2026, but I'm not really sold that that's going to be the case. So we'll see. If you're into charting and you're into trading, make sure you check out my official sponsor, Flux Charts. We're working on some really amazing stuff coming up. Of course, once it's ready, I will be letting you know. But I'm working on my own indicator suite with Flux, and it's specifically to cater to exactly what I'm doing now in terms of my trading. This morning, I didn't play any role into that, which is how I got caught up. I really do stupid shit still, and it pisses me off every time I do it. Because I have these ideas where I think I know what's happening, and it's not necessarily dictated to me in the charts, but I do it anyway. And it starts to go my way, and I get all excited, and then bing, 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 it all goes in a reversal. And I've traded those reversals. I know how to see them. I know what's happening. Just today was not a good day for me. It was kind of an emotional day for me, but that's another story. Cardano ate a god candle, pushes near $1. Cardano has risen 62% so far in July. And I think once we break $1, it's going to start getting really insane for people. Cardano has surged in price, posting a massive green candlestick that crypto traders might call a god candle. A significant surge that sends the price soaring in a single session. In the last 24 hours alone, ADA has increased, reaching 93 cents. It's actually reached higher than that. I think at one point today, it was at like 97 cents, wasn't it? Or am I crazy? its highest level in months, specifically since early March of 2025. This spectacular increase has reignited bullish sentiment. For those of us in the know, our bullish sentiment has not waned, as ADA inches closer to the critical psychological milestone of just $1. When we break and hold above $1, it's going to get nuts. That's what I think. And when we break in, when we break above $3, not only is that going to finally shut up half the nonsensical people in the crypto space who just love talking trash, I think it's going to be a huge boon. I mean, from $3, depending on when that happens, I mean, $10 is not out of the question. Cardano price prediction: Hoskinson preps explosive audit amid $600 million scandal. Could this be a bullish setup in disguise? ADA ticks higher, but all eyes are on the audit. Could it unlock the next surge? Basically, this is all about, some trolls that were making up a bunch of shit about Charles, trying to FUD him, FUD the blockchain, FUD everything. My guess, I can only assume it's a bunch of like left brain like loonies that were just making up a bunch of trash. And I've talked to people that were on the inside and said that all of that stuff is absolute nonsense. None of the claims made were true. And I mean people that were close to Charles and all of it going on back then, and that he was like, Charles did nothing wrong. And so, and Charles is basically about to prove it. I mean, he's about to, I guess they worked on an audit, and they're going to release this audit, I'm sure, in some form of live stream for everybody to gobble up and hopefully choke on, for those of you out there that were trying to push this narrative. I make a lot of posts all the time, and I talk about, like, if you have to make up shit to go after somebody, maybe you should question yourself, really, because if you have to troll and make up nonsense to try and make a point or to establish something, you're probably the bad guy. It's not who you're pointing fingers at. You really should probably check yourself. So that's basically what I got for news. This is going to be a super long video. 93.5 Crow. That's cool. Crowster, we broke above $1 in the spring of this year. I know, but I'm not counting any of that because Bitcoin's dominance wasn't falling. It was growing. And I think that was just a big fake out. To me, it was just a big fake out because of the ETFs. I mean, that's it. That's all there really is to it. I didn't put too much stake in it. At the time, I thought it was a really big deal, but this really is no different than anything else. I see Big Pays in the chat. Did you message me by chance? Just want to make sure I'm not missing any. Okay, no. Yeah, Big Pay was going to be on. We were going to go live. We're going to talk about Atrium. We might end up doing that next week. I'm not sure. Maybe later this week. This week has been crazy for me already, and we just have a lot of stuff going on. But we've got some stuff coming for Atrium, and I'm actually excited to share that and get on the horn. And you know who else is going to be coming on, believe it or not? I don't know how many of you are UFC fans, but one of my favorite fighters of all time, Rashad Evans, who I met Rashad basically like 15, 16 years ago. It might have been like even 16, 17 years ago when I was part of a fight team, and we were all, the team was down in Louisville, Kentucky competing, and Rashad was brought in as a special guest for everyone. And I don't think I've ever met a more humble, like nice champion. Rich Franklin, I know him. He would come to my shows and things. He was actually my really good friend Mojo that passed away, you guys know about, was Rich's sparring partner. And, he was always doing like 15-man round robins and stuff at the gym I was training at back in the day. But anyway, Rashad he was one of my favorites, man. Like if there's ever been a real role model, I think, Rashad is one of them. Rich Franklin is another. I met him at Karate Combat this past weekend, and I basically just let him know what I thought, and I was actually introduced by Loudmouth, who you guys see. He's always in like the the captain's hat and all of that. He's always dancing and being crazy and having a good time. But I told him, because I was across the way and I couldn't get across where the fighters were walking in. And I told him, I was like, you tell Rashad he's one of my favorite fighters all time. And he did. And so he's like, and I guess he told him who I was and what I did. And he's like, I want to talk to him. So we swapped numbers and got to chatting. And I told him, I was like, you should probably come on my channel next week. If you've got time, and just ask all the questions that you have about crypto, and I'll answer all your questions. And then anybody that's interested in crypto, that's a fan of yours, that are going to tune in, they'll learn a lot about crypto as well. But I know I got Rashad into, I think I won't say I got him into it. Let's just say I think he's comfortably getting himself into Bitcoin and Cardano as we speak. So, he's pretty excited about the market and everything. And I pulled him into my private group, and, just where I give a lot of updates and things on what's going on. And I share screenshots of this and that and other things. So anyway, should have Rashad Evans on the channel next week, and that'll be a really good time. You guys are going to really like him. He's also got a business. He's really big into like psychedelic mushrooms and things. And how they, help so many people with so many different ailments and mental issues and things like that. And so it'll be a really cool interview. We're really not that far from each other, but it's a little bit of a drive. So we're probably going to end up doing it over Zoom or something like that. But it'll be really cool, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm hoping I really can help Rashad understand the blockchain space, why we're all in it. And hopefully how to do really well in this market cycle. So Fly and Kill Us Up Crow almost went to Karate Combat Friday to see you, but got dragged to the Toto concert in West Palm. That's cool, man. I bet you I probably knows the people that were at that concert. So yeah. I'm going to scroll up here and make sure I get anything. Worst timing before our mainnet launch tomorrow. Oh, that sucks. Big Pay's Atrium mainnet launch is happening tomorrow. Make sure you guys go bookmark the site. Where did I put it? I had it up here, and now it's gone. Where'd it go? I don't know. I know I had it, and it basically just said beta's closed or whatever, so it doesn't really say anything. Let me see here. Atrium. Oh, okay, out here. You know what? Maybe if I just use the base domain. Okay. Yeah, this should be cool. So, like, for those of you guys that are interested, when I have Big Pay on, we're going to cover a lot of the stuff in detail. But if you just go to atrium.io, you guys can check out what they're building. He's got a lot of little gadgets and all kinds of crazy fun stuff that are going to be a part of this platform. And I guess it launches tomorrow on mainnet. And I have an account on here, and I was using it for a while, and I was building things up. And but he's got a lot of new stuff coming, so I'll let him announce everything that's happening. We'll try to get him on. Maybe we get him on tomorrow. We'll see. Okay, we'll see, because I'd like to have him on. I want to talk about everything happening. My PC literally bricked itself. That sucks, dude. I've been there. Every time I log into one of my machines, it takes forever to get everything working again. There's so many cables and connections. So I hear you, man. I know it sucks. Don't worry about it. We'll get it taken care of. And let's see. Join Atrium. Yeah, there you go. That'll be good for everybody to have. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, I've got a totally different camera angle right now because my other camera isn't connecting. It wasn't working. So I highly doubt it's even working now. Let me see. Well, I mean, they're both, they're both showing as USD. I don't know, man. It just doesn't work. Nothing works the way it's supposed to. And here pretty soon, I'm going to be changing the entire setup. And so we'll see. All right. I don't want to waste anybody's time today. It's a busy day for everybody. But yeah, I mean, enjoy the rise up. Let's hope for, let's hope for Bitcoin to hit like 22,000 before it hits like 17.5. How about that? or whatever. It looks like we could be in a little bit of a reversal, but it's got low volume. So we'll see. I really need this to turn around so I get out of this trade with I'm happy to break even at this point, but we'll see. So until next time, guys, thanks for joining me, and thank my sponsors, Flux Charts and BitUnix. That's the only exchange I'm trading on. So until next time, crow your coins. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon.